First of all, I'd just like to welcome you all to the webinar today. And we're going to be talking about how to study AAT Accounting from home. Now, there are two people here from TrainLink. There's myself, Stephen. This is Gary as well. And we're also joined today by Jamie Hughes from AAT. Now, the agenda today, first of all, very shortly, we're going to hand over to Jamie, who's going to take you through AAT, the qualification structure, the membership structure, and things like that. Then after that, we're going to talk about the TrainLink study experience, what it's like to study for these qualifications from home, what's involved, and what's included as well. Then after that, we're going to meet a couple of our students. We're joined today by Serena and Angela, who've been studying with us. I believe Serena's been studying AAT Level 2 Accounting with us, and Angela has been studying Level 2, 3, and 4. And then after that, we'll take a look at the questions that have been building up in the live chat, and hopefully get through as many of those as we possibly can. So yes, without further ado, I think it's time to hand across to Jamie.
Thank you, Stephen. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. So yeah, by way of introduction, I'm Jamie and I'm the account manager for distance learning at AAT. So essentially it means I support all of our training providers that deliver AAT online. So yeah, I'm just going to give you a bit of a background into AAT and how to get started. So if you bear with me, I'll just share my screen. Okay, so firstly, why choose AAT? So I'm just going to pick out a few of the points here, but essentially AAT is open to all. So there's no formal entry requirements and there's no age restrictions. So we just recommend that you start on a level that's relevant to your experience and your knowledge. And AAT is also internationally recognised. So we have members in over 100 different countries. And what that leads on to is the fact that it's highly sought after by employers. So you'll notice if you were to go on job websites such as Reed or Indeed, you'll see that employers that are recruiting for accounting and finance positions are often looking for people that are either studying AAT or have completed their AAT qualifications. And it also means that you can work in any industry. So you don't just have to be working in practice. Every business has an accounting and finance function. So that could be working in sports, fashion, property. It's really just those practical real world skills. And in terms of our qualifications, so we've got a broad range of qualifications, including bookkeeping short courses, but today I'm going to focus specifically on our core accounting qualifications. So we recently moved on to a new syllabus, so it's referred to as Q 2022, and you've got the Level 2 certificate, the Level 3 diploma, and the Level 4 diploma. So Level 2 is really your starting point. So this is ideally for people that have just left school, or you could be returning to work or looking for a career change. So no prior experience in accounting and finance. And at this level, you're predominantly covering double entry bookkeeping and also basic costing. In terms of the number of units, you've got 4 units and 4 assessments. One of those is a synoptic assessment, and where that differs from a unit assessment is it's testing your overall knowledge of that qualification. So it's a little bit more comprehensive than a unit assessment, and we've only got that at Level 2. In terms of how long it takes, so it really does vary depending on how you're studying, but Level 2 generally around 6 to 12 months. So for the Level 3, so this is your more advanced level. So if you're starting on this level, we'd recommend that you've got previous experience in accounting and finance or a relevant A-level qualification. And here you're really building upon your management accounting skills, as well as financial accounting and tax processes for businesses. And with this level, you've got 4 units, 4 assessments, and I'd say it takes around 9 to 12 months to complete this level. But again, it really does vary depending on how you're studying. And then Level 4, so this is your final level. Once you complete this level, you're fully qualified. And if you were to start on this level, we'd say that you need a relevant degree in accounting and finance or a lot of experience. So with this level, you've got 5 units and 3 of those are mandatory and then 3 are specialist units. So you have 5 options to choose from for your specialist units, and they range from areas such as taxation. So it could be personal tax, business tax, credit control, and auditing. And you're also covering managing budgets as well. So with this level, we'd say around 12 months to complete as well. So that's our qualifications in a nutshell. In terms of assessment, so they're all computer based, and there's a range of different ways you can sit your assessment. So if you're studying with a college, you may be sitting that assessment at a college. If you're studying through distance learning, then we have a range of different external assessment venues. So we've got about 200 in the UK, so very good coverage. And we've also got international assessment venues. There is also the option of sitting your exam remotely. That will be available from September this year onwards. And by remotely, I mean that you can sit your assessment online from home, or it could be just a secure environment such as at your workplace. Each assessment takes around 2 to 3 hours to complete. And as I've mentioned, there's a synoptic assessment at level 2. And all of them are based on work-related competencies, and there's a grading system. So on the right-hand side, you can see it's pass, merit, or distinction. In terms of ways to study, so you've got classroom study, which is your traditional form, which is face-to-face. You've got distance learning, which I'm sure Stephen will go into more detail about later. But distance learning is essentially studying online or remotely. It's very flexible and you can enroll at any time with most training providers. Then blended learning is essentially a mixture of the two. So you might be part-time in a classroom and then part-time online. Fees for studying AAT. So you've got your 3 core fees. Firstly is your feature training provider. So that's such as your tutor support, your resources, and that will vary depending on what training provider you're studying with. You've then got your registration fee to AAT. So that varies depending on your qualification, and it's a one-off registration fee. Then you've also got your AAT assessment fees. So if you're studying if you're studying through distance learning and you're sitting at an external assessment venue, you may have invigilation fees as well on top of that. So in terms of where to start, so firstly, you want to choose your starting level. We do have a AAT skills check test on our website. So that will essentially ask you a range of questions and then it will recommend you a level to start on. Then you need to identify a suitable training provider. So you can have a look on our website at a range of different training providers, or you can enroll with Training Link directly. So you can just inquire with them directly and get started straight away. And then, as I've mentioned, you can find your local assessment venue if you are studying through distance learning. Once you've enrolled with your training provider, you then register as an AAT student. So one thing that's very important is you can't sit any assessment until you've registered as an AAT student. And once you do, you also do get an access to all of our resources as well. So we've got a lifelong learning portal, which has a range of different resources from podcasts to green light tests. You can also pull in third-party resources as well. And also once you've registered, you have access to all of that support for the lifetime of that qualification. And when I say lifetime, it's generally 3 to 5 years for each qualification. And then lastly, just in terms of the professional pathways. So as I mentioned, you can start on level 2, the certificate in accounting, or the level 2 certificate in bookkeeping. Once you've completed that, you can move on to the level 3 diploma in accounting or bookkeeping, and you can then apply for AATQB if you've completed either of those qualifications. And that essentially signifies to employers and clients that you are fully qualified as a bookkeeper with AAT. So it's that professional status. You can then actually apply to become a licensed bookkeeper and offer self-employed services to the public. So then the final level, level 4, once you've completed that, you can apply for MAAT. So that's full membership with AAT, and again signifies to clients and employers that you're fully qualified as an accountant. You could then apply to become a licensed accountant and offer even more services to the public. So you could stop there, or you could then go on to chartered accountancy. So chartered accounting bodies such as ACCA and CIMA will offer you exemptions for having completed the level 4 diploma in accounting. And what that means is you're basically fast tracked into chartered accounting and you can do less assessments. Alternatively, you could become a tax professional, or there's also the option, as I've mentioned before, to become your own boss and be self-employed as well. So that is AAT in a nutshell from me. Thank you, Stephen.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Jamie.
Okay, thank you very much, Jamie. Right, I'm just going to share my screen again. There we go. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about Training Link itself. So who are Training Link? Well, we were established in 1996, wasn't it? 1996. So it's 27 years of providing distance learning expertise.
When I was a younger man.
And we're subject area specialists. So we just handle accounting, bookkeeping, and payroll. Just literally all we do. And I think because this is a niche approach, it keeps us focused on making sure that all the material that we put out there, all of the mock exams, all of the videos, and all the things that we put together, we've got like a laser-like focus on making sure
Specialists
that they're the best they can possibly be. Pretty much summed it up there. This concentrated focus gives us a huge advantage. And we think that's the control over quality, because we've got 100% control over all of our learning materials. No third-party content. There's nothing that we buy in. You know, it's perfectly possible for a training provider to, you know, get textbooks from a third party, provide tutor support, things like that. That works for them, great. That's not our approach. We want to make sure that everything we put out there is something that we actually author. We have the control over it. And it means that the books, the tests, and all the additional resources, all the videos and things like that, they work together to offer a seamless, cohesive learning experience. So our courses are designed to give you the best possible chance of gaining your qualification. So, you know, we take on board all of the feedback that we get, all of the exam results that we get, and we're constantly working and tweaking and improving the content we put out there. But it's not just about getting you through the exams. That's obviously absolutely vital. But we're trying to make sure that when you finish your course and you've passed your exams, that knowledge and those skills are firmly embedded up here. We're trying to make sure that you can do the job to the best possible standard and that you're ready to keep on climbing up the career ladder. Training Link have got a very, very proud history of helping many, many students become either freelance bookkeepers or kickstart their accounting career. And for this, we've been very well rewarded. We've won over 20 awards. AAT's Best New Training Provider in 2018, ICB's Large Training Provider of the Year for 10 years in a row, ICB Tutor of the Year 4 times, most recently just last November, where Michelle won Tutor of the Year. But actually, there are more Tutor of the Year winners in the building, aren't there?
Yeah, you've actually got 6. Yeah.
Yeah. So
our recruitment's actually quite good.
Recruitment's very good, but that means that if one of our tutors doesn't win tutor of the year.
Oh yeah, you work in a car park. Yeah.
What I was going to say is that if we don't end up with tutor of the year, there's a risk that you'll end up hiring whoever does win.
That's right. It's been one of those things that obviously, we've been 27 years and the boards have been going for a long time. That when someone sends a CV and if we're recruiting for a new tutor, it kind of stands out if they've won an award at some point in their career. And generally speaking, where tutors are concerned, you don't win an award unless you're really good.
At the end
you're
of the
up
day,
against thousands of different tutors.
at the end of the day, we want to offer the best
Yeah.
products, and that means working with the best people.
Yeah.
And that's something we're very, very keen to do. PQ Magazine Online College of the Year, Distance Learning Student of the Year as well, PQ of the Year 2021. And this year, last year, Michelle won Editor Special Award as well, which is absolutely
She got 2
wonderful.
awards last year.
Very, very hard-working tutor is Michelle. She's wonderful.
There's a key point missing off there as well, that over the years, we've probably had something in the region of about 14 students who have also won awards for Student of the Year.
Yeah.
And when you consider again that they're up against thousands of students here every single year,
Yeah.
to come out on top, it really is testament, obviously, to their hard work. But it does also reflect with us as well, because that's what we want them to be. We train them to the highest standard, and we set a high standard. We know that not everyone can hit that high standard, but we give them the opportunity to do that. And that's the key, that if you aim high, even if you land in the middle, you're still doing okay. But we always try to aim for the highest for our students. And again, it's down to the development of the materials, the development of the resources, the tutors being in complete synchronization with those resources. And a lot of companies, in fact, most companies, at the end of every month, they look at their balance sheet. We actually look at our exam results. We don't look at the balance sheet. We're only interested in those students' results.
I think those results are circulated to everyone in the building.
It's the first thing. It's the first thing in your mailbox, first day of every month.
And it kicks off the discussion.
Those results, and they're then analysed, and we'll look at it and say, okay, we need to do a little bit more here, or we're not. We aim for 100% with every exam. We know we're not going to get it, but we aim for 100%. So we'll look at, even if they're hitting around about sort of 90%, we'll still look to see how we can improve that student's chances the next time around.
Yeah.
And again, where Stephen was talking about ownership, owning the quality of it, is that because we own all of our own material, if we want to literally change a paragraph or put something extra in there that we think will make that big difference for a student, we can do that. We haven't got to wait for a third-party publisher to do their next run, which could be a year down the road, before that matter's corrected. And again, we moved over to a print-on-demand company as well. So we don't stock books on shelves anymore. When we order a book, it's come direct from the printer. They print it that day and send it that day. And it's the absolute latest edition. Yeah. Even if we've only moved a full stop or something like that, it's always evolving. And, you can see from those statistics that we're already at a very, very high level.
Well, we'll talk about the statistics a little bit later.
And we keep on pushing for those higher levels.
So why study online? We've talked about how we've got control over our processes, but when you're studying with us, you're in charge. It's, you dictate the pace of your own progression. And that means if you need to fast track your studies, you can. That's something that you can't do in a college environment. And we'll mention him a little bit later on, but there was somebody, George Sampakas, who studied with us, and he got through levels 2, 3, and 4 in 11 months, which is an absolutely phenomenal achievement. If you prefer to study only at weekends, that's fine. If you can't stick to the same rigid schedule, you can't stick to the same days every week, that works too. The key thing about distance learning is it's completely flexible.
Can I just say?
Yeah, sure.
Excuse me. Yeah, this is the thing where Stephen just mentioned George there. We've got several students who have completed well within the time that we would allow. And this again is where AAT stands out. And also, if you like, we're going to jump on the back of that and say, this is better than going to university. Because in university, it would have taken George 4 years to reach that same standard. And this is where AAT stand out. It's so accessible now that, you know, you can do your exams on demand. You can take one every week if you want to. You haven't got to wait for the rest of the classroom or for that actual class and lesson to be at the level you want. You're not being held back, but it's still there. It'll still take 4 years if you want to. But
Yeah.
it just this, you know, the way we've developed things is that you are in control. As Stephen says, if you want to put more hours in, we are not going to stand in your way and stop you. We'll encourage you.
It's the key word is flexibility, and I was going to mention this a little bit later on, but now it's probably a good a time as any to mention it. We did have, we were contacted by someone about 18 months to 2 years ago, who was reading all the case studies we'd put out there. And the case studies at the time, they were focusing on the speed that someone had achieved their qualification. And she asked a very valid question, which is that, well, you know, I've got, you know, busy home life, I've got work. You know, if I can't study in rapid speed, does this mean I won't have the opportunity to become student of the year? And it was a very valid question. It was my fault because I was pushing too much information out there about the students who maybe sped along through their studies. Now, what was fascinating is that about a year or two later, and I was finding myself looking for some award submissions for the ICB Student of the Year category, and I came across this this student, and she'd done absolutely outstandingly well, incredible. And I was about to write the award shortlisting, and it turns out she was the woman who'd written to me, written to us, you know, a year or two prior to say, well, what happens, you know, if I can't do it at such speed, will I get the opportunity to be Student of the Year? Well,
yes,
yes, she was shortlisted. She was shortlisted.
Yeah.
She didn't win, unfortunately. I think she should have won, but that's just me. But, you know, what an outstanding achievement that really was. And again, this is about flexibility. If you need to take your time, you can take your time. Your study experience with TrainLink, you'll get the TrainLink's printed AAT study manuals with lessons and printed study manuals with lessons and examples. Practical hands-on activities that ensure you've got knowledge and the skills. Again, this goes back to the point earlier on about making sure that we're training you to do the job, to go beyond passing the exams, to make sure that you can do that job on day one.
You learn better by doing as well, actually, rather than just trying to retain information. If you actually do something, you learn better and you retain that information and so much better.
There's a lot of activities, isn't there? There's a lot of a deliberate lot of repetition to make sure it gets up there. Award-winning support from full-time tutors by email and phone. Again, you know, when you study with TrainLink, all of the tutors that you'll be working with when you're allocated a tutor, but all of the tutors that are here are full-time tutors. You know, we don't believe in offering a course where we maybe only employing someone part-time, and you know, we want, at the end of the day, we want to make sure that you're getting responses quickly.
It's same day. It's about not keeping students waiting. We know that when you're learning and you're stuck on something, you want an answer straight away. Yeah, okay, sometimes we can do that, but our policy is that no one leaves anything in their mailbox when they go home at night. And it's about keeping that student's progression going on there. And the other thing too, this as well, is that we don't work from a bank of tutors as such. So if we allocate a tutor to a student, that student will have that tutor all the way through, apart from when the tutor's on holiday, of course, or off with COVID or whatever else is going around at the time. But yeah, we think it's best for the student to develop a relationship with a tutor.
100%.
Rather than it could be anyone answering at any time.
Online resources to help fast track your studies. Now, the online systems that we use, we took a lot of time to work out which was the right system for us. And we wanted to go with something that was built from the ground up to handle accounting related questions. You can get a lot of systems, thousands of different e-learning systems available, but not all of them would handle, in fact, vast majority of them would not handle questions in a way that was genuinely useful for the for an accounting environment.
We had to find something that related to the type of final exam that they're going to take with AAT. And in there, you're going to have an area where you're going to have to do a calculation and type figures in. You have to type answers into it. And we needed a system that could actually mark that in the same way that awarding bodies would. So our students, by the time they come round to doing the full exam, they're used to that style of question. They're used to answering that way. And, you know, interestingly, the company that we started, we set this up with, are actually, they actually provide the exams for a lot of awarding bodies throughout the world now. So I think we were their very first client. So you can see how, you know, how attractive this was to the accounting industry to be using this type of system that was built for that purpose. And like I say, it helps our students to not be suddenly, you know, be faced with a style of question when they're going for a full exam with all the pressure anyway. They're used to that type of question because we've tested them all the way along up to, through their mock exams and all the way through. So it's less daunting when you come to take an exam.
And the online resources include PDFs of your course books. So that's absolutely fantastic because ordinarily, you know, for vast majority of people, they like studying from the physical books. But, you know, let's say you're at work, you haven't got the books with you. Well, you can access the PDF versions inside Rogo, which is our online platform, along with assignments, tests, mock exams, and also videos.
We are pleased to unveil our collection of videos, and more of them are being added to our online learning platform. Our team of writers and tutors have spent much of this year scripting, shooting and animating a suite of videos to further enhance our study material. So if you want some extra clarification of a topic or additional examples when working through your books, just log into our online learning system and watch Training Links tutors take you through it.
So moving on, your study experience also includes 24/7 assignment marking with instant results and personal tutor feedback. The Student Services Department is open 7 days a week. And everything you need is included. There's no add-ons needed in terms of resources.
They go and buy extra books.
Exactly. You don't need to buy any extra books or anything like that. And also it comes with access to Student Street, which is a peer-to-peer support group. And the nice thing about Student Street is that it's a Facebook group. And, you know, we could have developed a shiny new app or something like that. But, you know, what would be the point? You know, most people are on Facebook. And in there, you'll get to talk to other students, talk to our tutors, and there's over 3,500 members there now, which is absolutely fantastic. I think it's about 1,000 since this time last year.
There'll always be someone on the same page as you.
Exactly. So it's great because you've got the benefit there of people who've already passed their qualifications and probably, you know, members in practice and things like that, accountants and things like that. You know, and they tend to help motivate people who are on their study journey as well, which is quite nice. And like I say, because it's on Facebook, there's no need to learn how to use a new app. So everything you really need to succeed is included in a TrainLink course. We want you to kickstart your career, and it means that we only include things in those course packages that are designed to help you do that. So the study manuals, as we said before, they're our own. We continually create extra study resources based on the feedback that we get, based on the exam results that we get. And our systems were designed specifically to handle accounting qualifications. And we've got enough tutors in the building to make sure you don't have to wait long for a reply. And isn't that what you really need? You know, I think the results speak for themselves. In fact, while we're talking about results, pass rates. So at level 2 accounting, 93.2%. At level 3 accounting, 92.3%. And at level 4, which is very tough, it's a tough, technical, very technical level. And at level 4, our pass rate is 91%. Now, to give some context here, here's how you know, our pass rate compares to the worldwide AAT averages. So very, very healthy indeed.
These are actually official.
Yeah, these are the official
statistics
AAT pass rates
by the AAT.
And these are for all the computer-based assessments completed between the 1st of July 2021 and 30th of June 2022 on the AQ 2016 standards. Now, we have to use the pass rates that AAT report back to us. So we'll be, as soon as we get pass rates for the brand new 2022 standard, we'll report those, and they'll be very visible on our website as well. But it does mean that, if you look at those stats and how well we've performed against the worldwide averages, we really have smashed the worldwide AAT averages, and that's something we're very, very proud of.
The key here as well is the perspective, is that this isn't just 5, 10, 15 exams or assessments that have been taken.
Yeah.
You can see on the right-hand side there, it's based on that amount of assessments taken. So it isn't a fluke, it isn't a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
Our students really do achieve these figures.
I mean, we had a point where when we were very new to level 4, and we'd had just a handful of students that had taken assessments, and we had a 100% pass rate.
Yeah.
And we could have put that out there, but it would be really silly if we did.
Yeah,
It would be really misleading. Yeah. So it's important that whenever we publish our pass rates, we make sure that you can see from how many assessments were taken and things like that. It's vital to put context out there like that, I think. Student feedback. I think we're almost wrapping up our section of the presentation. We're going to talk to our students very, very soon. But student feedback. We'd encourage you to have a look around, have a look on Trustpilot, and also because, we're well aware, I don't know about you, but I tend to be quite suspicious of the number of 5-star companies that there are out there. What I would say is that we do not invite reviews until somebody has actually done some studying, because there are too many, in my opinion, there are too many review sites where the company in question, and this is across the board, this isn't, I'm not picking on distance learning, across the board, companies tend to invite customers almost immediately after they've bought something. And the reviews tend to be 5 stars, the product arrived quickly, person on the phone was helpful, the website was nice. Those are not useful reviews for a study experience. So I think the thing I would invite you to look at independently is the level of detail that you'll find in Training Link reviews versus many of our competitors. There's a lot of detail in there. And also go on, have a look at the 1-star reviews and see how we've dealt with them. Because the reality is nobody's perfect. Everyone makes a mistake. Take a look at how we respond to those, to any of the 1-star reviews. There's not very many. And also FIFO as well, we're on there as well. It's worth having a look at both of those. And we've also got, I think, in addition to the Gold Trusted Service Award from FIFO, we've also got, I think, 28 case studies on our website. And it's worth having a read of some of those. We've obviously got Hannah Grayson Gator, who her results were so fabulous. She gate crashed the top 1% of AAT students worldwide, distinctions at every level. Absolutely fantastic achievement. George, I think I mentioned earlier on, gained levels 2, 3, and 4 in just 11 months. But anyway, I think enough of that. Now it's time to introduce our students. If you'd like to unmute yourselves, it'd be nice to have a chat now. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, get my words mixed up. And yes, Angela and Serena. Serena, I think you're still muted at the moment. There we go, lovely. Hi, Serena.
Hello.
How are you today?
All good, thank you.
Good,
Keeping warm.
Good stuff, good stuff. Angela, you okay?
Yes, I'm fine, thanks.
Wonderful stuff. First question to you, Angela. Can you give me a bit of an idea about what your background was before you started studying AAT?
Yeah, I left school a few years ago, maybe 1 or 2, maybe 40, and went to work in an accountant's office. And they sent me on day release to do some qualifications, and through that I did my HND in accounting over a few years, and I was going on to do my ACCA, and that was my target. I started doing my ACCA, and then I had a bit of a bad situation at home and gave it up. I continued working for the accountancy practice I was working with, and that was fine. And then from there, I moved from one part of the country to the other, and got another job in central London, and just worked away. But I always had it in my mind I needed to get back to doing these qualifications that I really wanted to do. I never did, though. Life took over. And then about 8 years ago, I decided to set up my little business. And, you know, from that 8 years ago, I've always wanted to get back to it. And then I just decided February last year, right, now is the time. So I then went on to see what I could do. Could I get back to do ACCA? No, I couldn't, because my qualifications were so long ago.
Yeah.
And my friend had done AAT, and I just thought, right, that's what to do. So I started last February doing my AAT level 2. I whizzed through that and done level 3. Slowly whizzed through that one, and now, well, come October last year, I finished one exam in level 4. And since then, I've been just far too busy with work and children. So it's just had to go on the back burner until.
Well, that's quite, that's actually, if we were talking about one of the benefits of distance learning,
Yeah,
that's the key one, isn't it? Flexibility.
Yeah.
The fact
well,
that
that works with me. I've got 3 kids.
If you'd been with
You
your
know,
local college, you'd have missed some classes by now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that ever. So
okay.
this works for me really well.
Okay. Can I bring, I'd like to bring Serena in at this point. Serena, so
Yeah.
what led you to AAT?
I have a background back in Romania. I've done faculty and master in finance, but when I came here, I couldn't recognize them here. So I need to start from the beginning.
Okay, so you worked, so did you, in Romania, did you work in accounting already? Okay.
Yeah, as a junior accountant.
So you needed recognised qualifications for the workplace when you came over here. Okay.
Quick question for you there. Have you noticed, like, obviously, since you've been studying the AAT, the differences in terminology and process and what have you? Because we come across this an awful lot, and we feel really bad sometimes when we say to someone from Romania or wherever that we need to give you a bit of a skills test here, because there is a difference. You know, there's a difference between the real world of accounting and the exams world, and we actually feel quite bad doing it sometimes, because you'd think, okay, you're in finance, it should be the same everywhere you go, but it isn't, is it?
No, I struggled for the last 2 units in level 2.
All right.
And now, when I'm speaking with my friends from Romania who are working in accounting, I don't know how to tell them in Romanian, because
you do. You tell them there's this place called Training Link. You need to focus on that.
I will next time. Yeah.
So what made you choose to study by distance learning?
Because I'm working 9 to 5.
Okay.
And was easy.
Okay, that makes sense. So what led you to Training Link?
I just went on AAT website and researched a little bit about each training provider.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I just liked Training Link website.
You've
Good.
changed it now.
It's even better now. It's even better.
Everything looked spot on
Okay.
and answered all my questions. So I just go ahead with that.
So what do you think? What do you think of the study books when you receive those?
Straightforward. That's the best. Everything, it's spot on.
Plain English, isn't it?
It was it easy
Exactly.
enough to understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Angela, what did you think of the study books?
Oh, very good. Very clear. Good examples. Really take you through the knowledge you need to learn. So yeah, I'm very happy with them.
Okay. So did you find that because some people need a little more tutor support, some people some people can just whiz through the books. Yeah. Do you tend to contact your tutor very much or not really?
No, I haven't really, from my side to the tutor, I haven't really contacted the tutor.
Okay.
Probably at all.
Okay.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think
most of the information is there.
Is there for you know, if you need it, and a lot of students love the reassurance of knowing that, look, you know, we're going to hold your hand if you know whatever support you need, it's there, even if you don't necessarily need to use it. Serena, have you contacted your tutor? What did you think of the tutor support so far?
I haven't. Only when I made mistakes on my mock test. It's coming back.
Yeah.
But I do like that never I got the answer. I just got hints. How can I find out the right answer? Yeah, it's really good.
To point you in the right direction to
exactly.
learn yourself, because that's the only way you'll retain. But yeah, that's really encouraging, because I had a really mad thing, you see, 27 years ago. I came from an engineering background, and I wanted to create distance learning courses where students were able to get 100% every time without having to contact the tutor once. That to me was the perfect course. Of course, I still haven't achieved that objective yet, but we're still trying. And it's good to hear, you know, because I always say that if our tutors are being contacted a lot with the same question all the time, we look to the materials, we say there's something wrong there. They shouldn't need to be finding help all the time. Yeah. That's really encouraging. Yeah.
Okay. Serena, what are your plans for the what's your next step? What are your plans for the future? Because you're studying level 2 with us at the minute.
No, I'm level 3 now.
Level 3 now, sorry, apologies.
Congratulations.
No worries. I've done level 2 in 2021, started level 3 2022. I got a really good start on level 3, but unfortunately COVID hit me in July.
Ouch.
It's only mentally, I suppose.
Yeah.
And now I have only the last exam to take for level 3, and I'm planning to do it in March.
Okay.
And then to level 4.
Level 4?
Yes.
Brilliant. On obvious training.
And fingers crossed I can go to SEMA next time.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
AAT is a good standard anyway. We found this over the years that lots of people have intention of being SEMA or ACCA, but realize that when they actually get to level 4, they don't necessarily need to do this, because there's this kind of a gap that you've got to do so much more to raise your level, then your pay level. You can do so much at level 4 anyway. And quite often you can actually get these jobs that you could have got with an ACCA or a SEMA anyhow. So, you know, I always say just get your level 4, settle on it for a little while, build up your experience, and then see how you feel. You may not need to.
Angela, what are your plans for the future, and where are you at? Have you finished level 4?
I've done one exam in level 4. So I've still got, I think, 4 more to do, because I'm on AQ 2016. And I think I've got to finish that by September.
Yeah, end of August. Yeah.
Okay.
End of August, right?
Well,
so I'll need to get cracking.
On what you want to do after that?
Well, I'll probably want to get my practice certificate and probably stick with that for a little while, and then I'll see. I might go on to ACCA, or I might just stick with that.
Okay.
not 100% decided yet.
Okay, right. I think I wonder, have we got any questions for our students at all, or just let's have a quick look. Have we got any lurking around? I don't think we do. Don't think we do at this
Looks
current
like Danielle's
point.
answered them.
Looks like Danielle's been answering the question, but there's nothing particular for students. Okay, I think then shall we introduce the special offer?
Oh, I think you
I
might
think we may as well talk about that. Thank you very much. Lovely to talk with you, Serena. Lovely to talk with you, Angela.
Yeah.
Let's. I'll share my screen again then. Okay. Right, where are we? Okay. Right. So it feels like an eternity ago now that we launched. We were all talking about new year, new career and things like that. But we've still got a few days left, and we have got a lot of special offers on the moment, which I think are going to be very great for you. So these discount codes expire on the 29th of January. So you've still got a few days left to have a look. And you can save an extra £150 on an individual AAT accounting level if you just use the code NEWSTART150. You can save an extra £200 on an AAT package. So that could include AAT levels 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, or the complete 2, 3 and 4. So you can save an extra £200 on that. And they're already discounted.
Yeah, I want to say for the people that have got a very quick calculators going, think, well, it's only an extra £50 if you're buying a bundle. But where we have, what we do with the package is we discount by 15% anyway. So if you buy level 2 and 3, you're getting 15% off that entire price. So we're actually giving you an extra £200 on top of that with this actual offer. Exactly. So code for that one is NewStart200. I think you're seeing a bit of a theme with these codes, aren't you? And save an extra £50 on an AAT bookkeeping course. So if you were looking more at the short qualifications, the AAT bookkeeping levels, you can save an extra £50 on one of those with NewStart 50. Yeah, the bookkeeping courses are very popular. Because sometimes people are a little afraid maybe of going into accounting and accountancy. So a lot of people will start off with an AAT level 2 bookkeeping. Or sometimes they only just want to do bookkeeping anyway. They're quite happy with that because there are a lot of jobs out there for bookkeepers. So we're finding that this kind of balance that I think Jamie will back me up on this, that there is, that it's just as popular as the accounting now in terms of the inquiries that we get for bookkeepers.
Yeah.
So all of those special offers are prominently displayed on the website. But if you need to get in touch with us about anything at all, then just get in touch. I'll have one quick look at the Q&A, see if there are any outstanding questions. No, I think we're all okay. Any other questions from anybody? Don't think anyone's typing. No? Okay. I think that's everything. Look, if anyone does have any further questions, please get in touch via our website. We'll be happy to speak to you on the phone or email or live chat or anything like that.
Does this chat stay open for a little while now? Does it or anything?
No, I don't think so. I think once we turn the webinar off, that's your lot. But it's easy to get in contact with us anyway, so should be okay. Rightio. Thank you very, very much, everyone.
Thank you all for your time today.
Thanks very much for your time. Thank you very much, Jamie.
Thank you.
Very sad day, actually, this is, isn't it? Because this is the last webinar we'll ever do with Jamie.
It is indeed.
Jamie has been working with us from AAT for 3 years now, and she's off for sunnier climes. She's off to Australia. And we're going to miss you very much, Jamie. But thank you very much for all your work over the last few years. Thank you so much.
You've been great. Thank you.
Oh, I'm going to miss you guys too. And thank you for inviting me along. And good luck with the rest of your studies, Serena and Angela.
Absolutely. Good luck to you both. Great to talk with you today, Serena. Great to talk with you today, Angela.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.